Hello everybody, today is 5th of December. My name is Sahil and welcome to the newspaper analysis. Now guys, first of all, let's have a look on today's GS Podder. Today we will be taking a quote from the Martin Luther King Jr., the civil rights activist who led the civil rights movement into the USA. He says, "There comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe nor politic nor popular, but he must take it because conscience tells him it is right." It tries to convey an idea that many a times there are the situation that the prevailing conditions are going in such a way that our personal ethics or our personal morality don't find any logic, any reason into the prevailing circumstances, and at that point of time we need to rise above the political affiliations, above the safe harbors, and need to take the right path just for the sake of rightness. Now, guys, this particular thing becomes very much important in order to bring a genuine change into the developing country such as India. Friends, please do utilize this particular quote in your GS paper number 4 as well as in your topics of essay. So that's it. And now let's take the newspaper analysis. Now, guys, first of all, let's discuss the articles that we will be taking up today. Guys, this particular article has been taken from the Hindu newspaper. It is talking about the vaccine development. Then, guys, the similar articles are there which are talking about the safety of the vaccines that are being rolled around the world. So, guys, we will be taking up a cumulative theme into this particular direction. Then, guys, this particular article has been taken from the Indian Express and it is talking about the non-conventional lab-grown meat which is emerging as an alternative, as for the first time Singapore has given the approval to it. Then guys, this particular article it is talking about the agricultural discontent. Then guys, this article it is talking about the recent kind of negotiations which are going on between the government, and we'll see that what are the major issues. Then guys, this article is talking about the Amit Sahani judgment with respect to the Shaheen Bagh and how it could be applied to the farmers protest. Then guys, this article it is talking about the recent UP ordinance with respect to the love jihad. Then guys, this article it is talking about the China's artificial sun. So what it is, we'll be seeing it. Then guys, here we can see that the USA had sued the FB for the Facebook for the favoring of the immigrants. So how it is a kind of a wave of the inward looking attitude into the nation states. So guys, these are the major articles that we will be taking up today, and now let's discuss them in. Now, guys, taking up the first news article, so it has been taken from the Hindu newspaper, and onto the similar themes on 3 4 places the news has been carried. So we will be combining them whole and will be making an integrated theme. See, here you can see that the Prime Minister had said that vaccine is nearly ready and will be out into the few weeks of time. Now, guys, when we are talking about the vaccine, see, the United Kingdom became the first country which had declared the rollout of the vaccine to the general public, and now the USA is going on to the similar path, and into the same direction we can see that the India is also taking a swift approach for the vaccine rollout. Now guys, as the vaccine rollout is going on, now what has happened, this is the first time into the history that onto such fast pace the clearances has been given. Now guys, see, when we are talking about the rolling out of vaccine, there are two kind of things. One is the final approval and the second is the emergency use authorization. Now guys, final approval is the complete approval to any vaccine. Now final approval for the fastest into the history it has been given for the mumps, and it was the 4.5 years in which the final approval was given. And guys, now a new kind of concept has come, that is the emergency use authorization. And this emergency use authorization is actually a kind of a makeshift arrangement which is in between the clinical trial results as well as the final approval. So somewhere here, when a kind of a disease is very much problematic, emergency use authorization can be given. And for the COVID-19 also, the countries are giving the emergency use authorization. Now guys, emergency use authorization for the first time was given by the Food and Drug Administration of USA in 2009 for the Tamiflu, which was administered to the children for the H1N1 infection. And guys, since 2009, the emergency use authorization has been given for the Zika virus drug, Ebola virus drug, and now for the COVID 19. Now, guys, when we talk about the emergency use authorization in India, emergency use authorization is given by the CDSCO, that is the Central Drug Standard Control Organization. Now, guys, there is one concern which is coming with respect to the emergency use authorization. See, into the Indian standards, there is no clause which is specifically talking about the conditions in which the emergency use authorization can be given. And into this particular aftermath, there is a concern which is coming into the scientific community that as India is not having any clear standard whether the drugs will be safe or not. Now, into this particular direction, even the Drug Controller General of India had said that the safety of COVID vaccine drug is paramount, and even there are the provisions which provides for the compensation to the people who might face any adverse effect. But how that particular thing will be given, it is also not more very much clear. Now, guys, see, into the USA, there are very clear standards. For example, the FDA can give the emergency use authorization only if there are three conditions which are met. That is, the drug needs to complete the phase 3 trials, then it needs to have 50% or more efficiency, and at least 3000 people should have participated into the trial. Now in India, such clear grounds have not been there. Even guys, the UK's drug regulator is also facing a kind of a question that whether the drug which has been approved into the UK, it is safe for the general administration or not, and they are also defending. Now guys, it has been said that same kind of charges are being levied throughout the world, and basically there needs to be a very clear spelled out thought that just into the name of the hurry some further compromise onto the health of the people should not be made. So guys, this is all into this particular direction, and now we'll be taking up the next article. Now, guys, this particular article has been taken from the Indian Express, and it is talking about the lab grown meat or the cultured meat which has been cleared into the Singapore for the first time into the world. Now, this particular topic becomes very much important under the GS paper number 2, that is the nutrition, food security, as well as into the GS paper number 3. Now, guys, what has happened? Singapore had cleared the lab grown meat. Now guys, when we are talking about the meat, there are three type of meat. Number one is the conventional meat that is derived from the animal. Number two is the plant based meat, and number three is the lab grown meat. Now guys, plant based meat is available for the commercial and consumption purposes, but this lab grown meat, it is something new. Now guys, see, if we see why this particular development is important, then guys, I would like to point out a 2020 Food Outlook report which was published by the FAO, and into this particular report it was said that the meat output is contracted in 2020 when the data is compared to 2019. 1.7% contraction has been seen. Why? Because guys, now into the people, the fear of zoonotic diseases, it is making a very big impact, because you can see that the viruses such as the MERS, H1N1, avian influenza, and now COVID-19, they are all are having the zoonotic origin. So therefore, interest has been renewed. Now, guys, as I have told you, apart from the conventional meat, there could be two meats. One is derived from the plant, and here the soy based or the pea protein meat are very much important and very much popular. Then when we are talking about the lab grown, then guys, here directly by the cell culture the meat is grown, and it is entirely similar to the conventional meat into the texture, into the taste, into the nutritious quality, and all such kind of thing. Now guys, the Good Food Institute in its 2019 report had said that these lab meats or the plant based meats are very much beneficial when compared to the conventional meats. It has been said that the lab grown meat can reduce the land use by 95%, emissions by 74 to 87%, which are caused by raising of the animal and animal related products, as well as the nutrient pollution will also go by 94%. So therefore, the non conventional meats should be focused. Moreover, there is also no contamination via the Salmonella or the E. coli, which is the problem into the conventional meats. And then, guys, the zoonotic disease reduction will also be there. However, when we are talking about these non-conventional meats, there are some challenges also. Number one, guys, it is the consumer mistrust. That is, they might not be good for the consumption and all such kind of thing. Then, guys, there is the traditional lobby which always hinders such kind of development. These are the people who are deriving their livelihood from the animal husbandry. Then, guys, the scale, basically the demand of the meat, it will not be able to be met completely by this non-conventional meat. And then, guys, there is a kind of a belief that if it is not being derived by the animal, it is not entirely a meat. So basically these are the major challenges also into this particular line. However, guys, as Singapore had cleared this particular thing for the first time onto the commercial basis, a kind of a ray of hope has been shown that into the times to come, the non-conventional meat might solve the problem where the animal rights will be preserved, people's culinary appetites will be preserved, and at the same time environmental cost will also not be there. So guys, this is all into this particular direction, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, guys, this particular news pertains to our GS paper number 2. See, there could be a situation based question. Now, guys, what has happened? Recently, the Supreme Court gave a direction that was into the Amit Sahani versus a Commissioner of Police case. Now, this was the Shaheen Bagh judgment, where it was asked that the protests which were being carried into the Shaheen Bagh, whether they were constitutionally valid or not. Now, guys, into the Amit Sahani judgment, Supreme Court said that the Shaheen Bagh protesters, they were blocking the public movement and they were causing the inconvenience to the public, and therefore the Shaheen Bagh like protest, they are not allowed and they were constitutionally not valid. Now, guys, into this particular direction, a plea has been filed into the Supreme Court, and it has been said that the farmers who are sitting onto the agitation onto the borders of Delhi, they have chalked the crucial entry points, and they are also leading to a kind of a obstruction into the public movement. They are causing the inconvenience. For example, goods are not being able to enter into Delhi. Secondly, guys, there are large number of patients who come from the states such as the Haryana, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh for their critical treatment into the Delhi, and their entry has also been obstructed. And even right now into the times of the COVID-19, this particular thing is becoming even more problematic. So on to the similar grounds that was given into the Amit Sahani case, the farmers protest, they should also be held as invalid, and directions should be made to stop this particular type of protest. Now, guys, we need to see that how the Supreme Court will be reacting, but on to the basis of the facts that have been raised, it makes a valid point. So, guys, that's all into this particular direction, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, guys, these articles have been taken from the Hindu newspaper, and it is talking about the farmers' unrest that is going on because the government had introduced the three farm bills. Guys, already many a times those three farm bills, how they are problematic, already we have discussed. Now, guys, this particular article, it is raising some very very generalistic points that farmers are having a problem because their incomes are not basically up to the mark, and the price discovery is not there. Moreover, guys, the APMC had acted as a cushion, and all these particular things are being taken away by the government. Now, guys, this article is carrying some of the valid points with respect to the most latest developments that has been made. Now, guys, what has happened? Some rounds of talks have been happened with the government, and government had given an assurance that they will be giving some respite to the farmer. It has been said that government is ready to bring the safeguards, and by these safeguards, the center has suggested that the land alienation, which is a kind of a fear into the farmer, there will be the safeguards that it will not be there when the contract farming will be taken. After that, guys, it has been said by the government that they will even strengthen the state run mandi system, and it will be given an equal footing with the private mandis that were being explored. Guys, what was the problem was this, that the APMC mandis, there if the goods have to be sold, there were the taxes which were to be paid. and the private mandis which were coming, there were no taxes. So it was said that these private mandis will be having a kind of a more advantage, and everybody will be going here, and into the mean course of time these APMC mandis will basically be demolished, and they will cease to be in existence. Now it has been said that in both the mandis there will be the taxes, so that no one is having a comparative advantage. After that, guys, so here it has been mentioned that equalizing taxes will be there. So this it means. After that, it has been said that there will also be the grievance redressal mechanism. Now earlier also the grievance redressal mechanisms was there, but that was into the subdivisional magistrates courts. Now into the civil courts the grievance redressal can be carried. And then it has been said that there will also be the proper verification of the private traders. Now guys, what happened into the traditional system, into the APMC, there were the Adatis, and these Adatis were the traders who used to procure the crops. Now, when the private mandis were coming, there was the provision that even the private trader can take up the crops from the farmer, but the legitimacy or the commercial viability of those private traders was a question. So it has been said that their proper verification will be there. However, guys, there is still one big problem, that is government had not offered a legal guarantee for the MSP as well as for the power subsidies. They are giving a verbal guarantee but not a legal guarantee, and on to this particular point, the entire problem has struck down. Now, guys, it has been said that for so long government had said that they are concerned about doubling the farmers' income. Earlier, it was said that by 2022 farmers' income were to be doubled. Then it has been increased to 2024, but on ground government's effort are not resounding by such huge targets. Guys, it has been said that the government has declared that they intend to provide 50% more than the input cost that the farmer are incurring onto the agriculture. Now there are some problems into this particular direction. Number one, guys, into the input cost, the cost of the rent of the land is not being actually included, and it has been said that even this particular thing renders this 50% to much lower amount. After that, guys, it has actually also been said that government is also not taking any steps to see how agriculture can be made much more environmentally sustainable. We have seen that the groundwater is going down, then there is the soil toxicity, and many a times the harmful fertilizers and pesticides are also being used. So it has been provided that the need of an hour is to bring a kind of a reworked incentive structure where the farmer are not only provided the assurance of to their incomes, rather such incentive structure should be into such line that that the agriculture becomes sustainable, as well as the food security of India is also not hampered. So a kind of a comprehensive approach is needed, and not the piecemeal approaches will be working into this particular direction. Now guys, it has been said that the food security is equal to the national security. So therefore the importance which is given to the national security, the similar importance also is needed to be given to the farmers issues, agricultural crisis, and the food security in India. So guys, this is all about the major developments into this particular direction, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, guys, this particular article has been carried into the Hindu newspaper, and it is talking about the recent issue where the Uttar Pradesh government had brought an ordinance by which it aims to nullify the interfaith marriages. Now, guys, on to the yesterday's newspaper discussion, that was on to the 4th December. This particular entire matter has been discussed, and on to the similar lines, the things have been carried, nothing substantial. So you can please watch the 4th December. So there we have taken up the judgments and all such issues. Guys, that's it. Now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, guys, this particular article is about the China's development. It has been taken from the Hindu newspaper, and it is important for our GS paper number 3, that is the technological developments, as well as important for the prelims examination. So what has happened here? China has turned on their artificial sun. Now, what is this artificial sun? Guys, artificial sun is the nuclear reactor of China whose name is HL2M. Now, it is called as artificial sun because of two things. Number one, the immense energy that it produces, and number two, it actually works onto the principle of nuclear fusion, the same phenomena which operates into the stars such as sun. Now guys, up till now, the majority of conventional nuclear power plants, they had worked onto the principle of a fission, and it is working onto the nuclear fusion. Now if we see the difference between the nuclear fusion versus nuclear fission, then guys, see, into the nuclear fusion, basically there is the combination of the two or more atoms to create one large atom, whereas into the fission there is the breakdown of one larger atom into two or more smaller atomic particles. Now the nuclear fission, basically it is not a process which occurs naturally and is created into the conditions into the nuclear reactor. Now guys, when the fusion is considered, fusion is called as the holy grail of energy, and it can provide much more energy outcomes and can satiate the energy hunger of the world. Now guys, when we are talking about the artificial sun of China, it is working on to the principle of fusion, which is similar to the kind of a nuclear reaction that is going into the sun. Now that artificial sun of the China, it uses the powerful magnetic fields for creating such kind of fusion, and into this particular reaction 150 million degrees Celsius of temperature is reached, which is more than 10 times that temperature which is prevailing at the core of the sun. Now guys, moving little bit beyond the scope of this particular article, so please keep in mind that this HL2M is the largest project of the China. However, the world's largest nuclear fusion project it is basically being built into the France by the name of International Thermonuclear Experiment Reactor, and it will be readied by 2025. So this is the world's largest, and this one is the China's largest. Please keep all these particular things into your mind, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Now guys, here we can see that a new kind of development has taken place into the USA, where the US had sued the Facebook because they had said that the Facebook had favored the immigrants into the hiring process. It has been said that deliberately Facebook had given their jobs to the H1B visa holders, and into this particular direction the discrimination by the with the citizens of the America has been done. It has been said that the Facebook did not advertised the job openings into their career sections, and directly by the mail the jobs have been given to the immigrants. Now either the complete discrimination is there or the partial discrimination is there, and for this particular thing the Facebook is being charged. Now this is the first time that such unusual kind of move has been there. Now guys, this particular development is not actually important because as an isolated event, rather you can see that it is an indicative as how a kind of an inward lookingness behavior is becoming more and more resurgent into the countries. Now as the deglobalization is becoming a kind of a major phenomena into the same direction, guys, the son of the soil and such kind of things are becoming prominent. And when you are talking about the son of soil, then guys, such kind of examples can also be given, because here also it is being said that the resources, particularly the jobs and the economic resources, should be reserved first for the citizens. So guys, into this particular direction, just as a reference point, you can use this particular example. So guys, that's all for today's newspaper discussion. I hope that you have liked our video. Thank you so much.